哎，这期我们终于要来做这个伯珍娜这边的任务了。之前是挤过伯珍娜家门而不入啊，其实也入了，就是没有接她的任务。
Has something happened?
My daughter Pavlena, remember her? She was here when I was healing you two.
I remember. What's wrong with her?
She's missing. It's not like her to be wandering around like that. She goes to Troskovitz to sell baskets, but she knows I can't manage on my own, so she never stays away for long. These old eyes of mine can't see nothing much. Pavlena has to take care of me. She's a good girl, that lass of mine. I'm very worried about her. You understand? What if something's happened to her? God forbid. I can't look for her myself, but you could. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I've no one else to turn to.
Do you think anyone might want to hurt Pavlena?
These are evil times, Henry. I dread to think what could happen to a young girl alone on the road. And besides, the folk in Troskovitz ain't too fond of us.
What have the Troskovitz people got against you? Did something happen?
I'd rather not talk about it, Henry. I wouldn't want you to get the wrong impression about us.
But what if her disappearance is connected with it? Tell me about it, good wife.
Well, we haven't always lived here in the rocks, you know. We're from Troskovitz originally.
Right. And how come you left?
Left? They threw us out. A childbirth went awry, and we were driven away by all the lies told about us.
Went awry? What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm sure the good folk of Troskovitz will be only too keen to tell you.
Where exactly was Pavlena going?
To Troskovitz. She was taking wicker baskets she'd made. She sells them there and uses the coin to buy what we need. Sometimes it takes her a while, but this time she said she'd be right back. I have a bad feeling about this.
Did it occur to you she might have run off? She's a young girl. And pretty. What kind of life does she have here in the woods? Maybe she wanted to live a little.
You don't know Pavlena. She's not like that. If she wanted to live a little, she'd tell me straight out. She doesn't keep things from me. Don't imagine I keep her here against her will, or that I don't know what it means to be young.
Pavlena is young and, well, no offence, but you seem a little old to be her mother. Is she really your daughter?
She is. Not by birth, but that doesn't change anything. Her mother died in childbirth, and there was no one but me to take care of her.
And who was Pavlena's birth mother?
A girl from the charcoal burners. They left the county, and I think she had no one else. I buried her myself. No one came for her.
And do you know anything about Pavlena's father?
I don't know who he was. Pavlena's mother was very young, and the fella surely abandoned her when her belly grew. She never told me nothing about him.
Well, as a midwife, I'm sure you've seen it often that, that the mother doesn't survive childbirth.
All too often, lad. But that's the lot of women. Or is it any different where you're from?
No, it's not. True enough.
See then? Now, can we just keep our minds on Pavlena?
All right, good wife. I'll try to find Pavlena for you.
Thank you, Henry. Like I said, she was heading for Troskovitz. You should start looking there.
All right. I'll ask around there for her.
And maybe you could look in her room in the loft. My old legs ain't up to climbing stairs, but you might find some clues there.
啊，以前伯珍娜就不愿意给我们讲啊，为什么他们要远离这个村镇哎居住啊？这个看来这次的话应该是会找到原因了。我们先去这个帕弗莱纳的这个房间啊，或者他睡觉的这个地方调查一下啊，留下一些什么东西。
What have you left for me?
这里我们之前来过啊。
She's got unfinished work here.
有未完成的工作，说明走得很匆忙。
Boy's cap. Does Pavlena wear it? Or did someone leave it here?
可能他的失踪会跟某一位男性有关啊，但是具体是什么样还不知道。
Like she got up and went straight out.
走得很匆忙，很突然。但是伯珍娜并不知道有谁来过啊，所以可能是突然他想起什么事儿，或者说是有约什么的之类的。总之应该是他主动走的啊，不然不会把东西放到一半，而不是完事出去卖这个花篮的时候啊，这个没回来，是工作做到一半。附近的锁都撬下来，但是并没有发现什么可用的线索啊。我们去找这个伯珍娜汇报一下。
I had a look in Pavlena's place in the loft.
And? Did you find anything?
I found a cap there. A man's cap. I don't suppose Pavlena would wear something like that.
You're saying she had some young man here? I'd surely have noticed.
I don't know, good wife. I'm just saying what I found.
Could she have found herself a beau in Troskovitz?
She's got unfinished work there. She weaves baskets.
Aye, she usually has a few on the go. But she took them to the market in Troskovitz. We've got nothing here but what we make ourselves, or find in the woods. Pavlena weaves baskets very nicely. Folk buy them from her.
啊，他跟特罗斯科维茨那边还是有这个，算是这个交易往来，所以应该是有那边认识的人，所以要去特罗斯科维茨，哎，这个打听一下有没有线索。不过这个现在时间有点晚了啊，我们还是休息一晚上。不过因为我们这个有梦游症啊，不知道这一觉醒来以后会给我们干哪去。哎呦，这是哪儿？观察一下啊，这是一个农庄，然后那边有个村镇啊，但是那里有个帐篷啊，我认得是哪儿了？那个帐篷是理发馆、理发店，那就是前面是这个哲勒约夫马车驿站。我们是在哲勒约夫旁边的这块农庄啊，大概就是这个位置啊，大概就是这个栅栏这个位置。那正好顺便洗个衣服，然后我们就去这个特罗斯科维茨。一般来说，打听事情最适合的两个人，一个是酒馆老板，一个就是执政官了。
I'm looking for Pavlena, the daughter of the herb woman from Zhelyov. Do you know her?
Aye, I do. Pavlena still comes here from time to time, selling baskets, ointments, and whatnot. I ain't seen her around in a while, though. Why are you looking for her?
She hasn't been home for a long time, so Bozhena sent me to look for her. When she left, she was heading here.
If I was you, I'd go and ask at the rat house. Or Yezhek the Cooper. That old goat had his eye on her one time. Only she wouldn't have him if he was the last man alive. Can't say I blame her. That Yezhek's a drunken sot.
Do you think anyone would want to harm Pavlena?
Bozhena's not too popular here since that misfortune with Yakesh's wife, Ludmilla. But no one holds a grudge against Pavlena. She was only a young lass at the time. What a load of shit.
What was that about a misfortune with Ludmilla?
That was way back. She was the midwife here. She'd give the women herbs and whatnot when they called for her. But then something happened when she was helping out at Yakesh's. His wife, Ludmilla, died, and a child was stillborn. A tragedy it was, and then Bozhena, she left.
Just like that?
Well, to tell the truth, we drove her out.
Oh? Why was that?
Better ask Yakesh if you want to know more. He's often by his son's grave. It's next to the farm.
What's this Yezhek like? And what do you mean about him having his eye on Pavlena?
He wanted to get married, and no sensible girl around here would have a drunkard like him, so he figured Pavlena might be an easier bet. He promised her a home in the village, but the girl wasn't so dumb as to fall for it. He's hardly got 2 groschen to rub together, and his house ain't no palace neither. All she'd have out of it is a heartache, and a bunch of brats as pig ugly as their old man.
And where might I find this Yezhek?
If he ain't boozing here at the tavern, he'll be on the way here or at home.
Thanks.
And do you think this Yezhek might have done something to her? Like abduct her because she scorned him?
Nah, he ain't got it in him. He's all mouth, but he'd never raise his hand to a woman. And even if he did, Pavlena would probably give him a hiding. Just recently, he got a black eye from this skinny fella here. He's a weakling and a wretch. He wouldn't have a chance with Pavlena.
所以说这个杰泽克啊，跟这个帕弗莱纳有关系，但是其中也有其他人，这个揍了他啊，所以应该不知道跟帕弗莱纳有没有关系。总之这算是一个相关人员啊，我们可能要打听一下。市政厅的超显员文化人啊，也能打听到一些。
Help. I'm looking for Pavlena, a girl from Zhelyov. She comes here to Troskovitz selling baskets and ointments, and she didn't come back from her last rounds. Do you know anything about her?
I know the girl you mean. I've seen her with that woodcutter lad. Roman, I think. Try asking Dushko. He knows all the woodcutters. He lives along the way from the rat house to the butcher's.
虽然他说的很简单，但是应该是这个跟这个叫罗曼的这个男人啊关系好。而关于这个罗曼呢，这个叫什么杜什科啊，他可能会知道的更多。这个是那个之后我们要参加的婚礼的那个新娘啊，不过她嘴特别臭。
So you haven't seen her?
For Christ's sake, I already told you. I've had it up to here with oaths. God be with you,
你还是闭嘴吧。这个执政官会比较难找，因为尤其是早上的时候，他会到处巡逻。遇到了。
I'm looking for Pavlena, the daughter of Bozhena from Zhelyov. She comes here selling baskets and other items.
Aye, I know her.
Do you know if she's been here in the last few days, Master Bailiff? I'm a bit worried about her.
I haven't seen her myself, but you can ask around the village. Try the houses along the road to Zhelyov. She'd have to pass that way.
What can you tell me about Pavlena?
She used to live here with her mother, but then we drove them out. She's not the kind of girl you'd notice much, but she knows how to take care of herself. I let her come round here because, well, maybe I've gotten soft in my old age. But I reckon children shouldn't have to pay for their parents' sins. Don't you think?
I heard something about that. Why did you drive them out back then?
Bozhena was our midwife. It ain't the cleanest trade, but it's needed. Women all over the domain used to call for her help with births. Only, as it turned out, bad help is worse than no help at all. I won't go digging up old grievances, but believe me, we had cause enough to drive that old witch out of here.
Has Pavlena got any friends here? Acquaintances?
There's Roman, who brings us wood.
Roman? Who's he?
A woodcutter like his father. May he rest in peace. He lives just off the green. His hair is red like embers. You can't miss him.
And Pavlena's on friendly terms with him?
You could put it like that. Roman's pa wouldn't be too happy about his son being with an outsider like her. But all he can do now is look down and weep. Not that Roman ain't a decent lad. Honest and hard-working. It wouldn't surprise me if Pavlena left her ma to be with him.
It's possible. I'll go and see Roman.
Do that. Like I said, his house is near the edge of the village, close to the pond.
Do you think anyone here would want to hurt Pavlena?
Troskovitz is a decent village. You'd better watch your mouth.
现在有2个相关人员了啊，还有这个罗曼也算是一个啊。接下来我们如果说是在地图上看的话，会看到很多任务目标。我们一个一个来啊，我们要不先从最西边的这个 E 的这个位置啊，应该是这个叫杰泽克的统将啊，他对这个帕弗莱纳有意思，但是呢，他是个窝囊废啊，又没钱，然后呢，这个也没什么本事，这种人也比较容易见色起意啊。这就是他，醉汉杰泽克。
I hear you're interested in Pavlena.
What's it to you?
Well, Pavlena's gone missing. Do you know anything about that?
Fuck, wait. No, I haven't seen her lately, and I got a pasting in the tavern, so I haven't been out lately. You can ask there.
I heard about that famous fight of yours.
So you see, I wouldn't wish no harm on Pavlena, even though she didn't want me. But I'm not sure you could say the same about that ginger-headed Roman of hers. That's where I'd look if I was you. His cottage is on the road to the butcher's.
他说他没做什么啊，也是指向了那个罗曼，也是喜欢这个帕弗莱纳的人啊。但是出于严谨，我们还是先来他的房子调查一下 啊。不过调查了一番以后，他的房子里面也没有什么。不过呢，在他旁边的这个他做的那个棚房旁里面呢，有一把斧子，哎，这把斧子拿走不会算偷窃啊，而且写了是这个斯卡利茨之斧。亨利的这个老家就是斯卡利茨嘛，然后可能是个彩蛋性质的，而且这个性能还不错。说明上说是一位技艺高超的铁匠，哎，锻造出的这个斧头啊，这个很可能也是这个亨利他父亲打造的。这个一代时候第一个任务啊，就是让亨利从一个这个人那里啊拿回他欠债抵债的这个斧子啊，就是也是他爸做的。接下来我们去找这个地主贾克西啊，他似乎是这个伯珍娜曾经被赶出这个特鲁斯科维茨时候的这个事件当事人。
Can I ask what happened between you and that midwife, Bojana? I heard you banished her from the village because of some mishap with your wife.
That was no mishap. The witch killed my son and damned him to hell.
Wait a moment. Start from the beginning. What do you mean she killed and damned your son?
My wife, Ludmilla, gave birth to 3 daughters. Quick and easy every time. The village women often scream all day and night before they bring their babies into the world. Not my Ludmilla. When she had Marushka, it was all over before the midwife even got here. But when Yaroslav was coming into the world, you know, I knew already I'd finally have a son. I never sent for no help. Why would I? After all, Ludmilla done it all on her own 3 times. And besides, that Bozhena is an unclean woman and a witch. Only this time, something went wrong. Of course, I wasn't there. Being a God-abiding man, I was outside. But Marushka comes running out, shouting, "Pa, send for Bozhena! Ma's poorly!" I thought twice about it, but then I sent for her. She came along with a little girl, Pavlena, and a whole sack of herbs. She started brewing right away, and before the night was out, she was pouring God knows what kind of concoction down Ludmilla's throat. It's a wonder she didn't poison her, the crone. I couldn't get a wink of sleep all night. It wasn't till daybreak that Bozhena came out of the house, carrying in her arms. They could see right off it was a boy. Like I said, only Yaroslav came out feet first. And as they were pulling him out, well, he was all Mother of God. I can't even say it. It was that Bozhena's doing, I tell you. If she hadn't pulled him out and left Ludmilla to manage herself, he could have lived.
So you still blame her for it?
And why shouldn't I? I haven't told you the half of it yet. I asked the priest, and he told me every midwife has the sacred right to perform baptism when things go wrong. Like when it looks bad for the child, see? She can baptize him, make sure he gets to heaven. And you know what Bozhena did?
What?
Not a thing. She looked at that little body lying still and didn't do a damned thing. And my wife died a few hours later. So I'm sure you understand what I did after. That same evening, I got the other fellas from the village, and we drove that damned witch out beyond the boundary stone.
I see. She lives in the woods now.
A good thing, too. She hasn't shown up here since. Many times I told myself we should have done more to her, so she'd know how I felt.
Listen, Bozhena's daughter has gone missing, and I get the feeling from what you're saying that you're not exactly unhappy about it. So I'll ask you straight up. Do you know anything about it? Do you want to hurt Pavlena to pay Bozhena back for the death of your son?
I understand why you might think that, but I would never do anything like that. Don't tell nobody, but since Ludmilla died, I go weak at the knees if I only see blood. It's like I'm standing next to her bed, again like that time. I never want to see a corpse again in my life. Besides, if I wanted to get my own back on Bozhena, I'd never take it out on her daughter. The girl's not to blame for anything. She was only little when it happened. I curse that old hag often enough. When I've had a drink or two, I wish the worst on her, so she'd know how I feel. But as God is my witness, I'd never stoop to murder on account of it.
从他的说法上，好像他是无辜的，但是他确实和这个伯珍娜啊，这个算是有仇。而这个原因呢，现代的眼光来看呢，知道也只是单纯的这个胎位不正而导致的不幸。
A grave here. This isn't hallowed ground. It's pretty small too. Could it be someone from the farm?
一个很小的坟墓啊，但是呢没有葬在墓地，算是一种他们的非正常死亡啊，就是没有接受祝福啊，什么什么那种。他刚才也说了啊，他的这个儿子啊，这个小儿子出身夭折啊，没有接受洗礼什么的。
I was wondering about that grave beyond the farm. Who's buried there?
My son, Yaroslav.
How come he's buried there and not at the cemetery?
He died during birth and was never christened.
God.
Aye, me too. As he ought to be.
When did your...
Well, Yaroslav...
What about your other...
One of my daughters got married and moved out. Marushka and Olina.
Why? One of them could live on the farm with her husband, couldn't he?
Aye, true enough. Only a father should pass his livelihood on to his son, goddammit! Don't tell me it's different where you come from.
Well, I only got to know my father recently. He's the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Well, you do look like a man with blue blood. That I can't deny.
Well, thanks, but actually I'm a bastard. My ma was a commoner, so she couldn't marry Sir Radzig. Fortunately, his loyal subject Martin took her in and raised me like his own.
Out of duty?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you. But however it started, they became close. And later, when they died, Sir Radzig took charge of me. So actually, I have two fathers.
God's will. There are times I wish I'd died before Yaroslav. I'd have saved myself all the misery since then. And all that's still to come.
I don't have any more questions. Thanks.
因为他们这个基督教啊，这个所有人的出生都是带着原罪的，因为人类的诞生不是因为亚当夏娃偷吃禁果嘛，所以说人类诞生就是因为偷吃禁果的这个原罪啊，所以呢，人出生的时候要接受洗礼啊，不然的话，不接受洗礼，死后就必定下地狱，因为是带着罪的嘛。而他对这个伯珍娜更多的责怪就是这个伯珍娜没有在孩子死后夭折，没有及时给他行礼，然后孩子就夭折了。啊，但是这个事情，一个是宗教角度其实无所谓啊，再是呢，我们得需要从伯珍娜的角度了解一下这个事情到底是怎么回事儿。接下来我们去找那个叫罗曼的樵夫啊，之前的这个告诉我们线索，这个罗曼住的地方呢就在这个洗衣服的池塘旁边啊。但是我们来到这个池塘旁边的时候，在找罗曼的房子的时候，听到有人就在喊着罗曼在找他。哎，就是这个人，刚才他在吼叫啊，他就在这里转着，也在找罗曼。哎，这个好像就是这个管这个樵夫的人。
I also need to find him to ask if he knows where Pavlena is.
That sweetheart of his? Well now, I hadn't thought of that. They could be together somewhere, so you can help me look for him.
What kind of fella is Roman?
We worked together in the woods. His pa used to work with us too, only he died not long ago. And Roman was left all alone with the whole small holding. His ma died a few years ago. Now at least he's found Pavlena. Of course, she ain't from around here, and there's all sorts of talk about her. But Roman would like her to move in with him.
What does Roman look like? How will I recognize him?
A young fella. Ginger as they come. You can spot him a mile off.
How did the folk here take to Pavlena?
Badly. They steer clear of her. She used to live here, near the green, when she was a little girl. But we didn't live here at the time, so I don't know much. Folks say they were driven out because of some wrongdoing. But I'm not interested in that. Everyone deserves a second chance, I reckon.
Do you think anyone would want to harm Pavlena?
Like someone from the village? I don't know. Jezek, the Cooper, fancied Pavlena one time. Wanted to marry her, he did. Only she wasn't interested.
I've already checked Jezek's story. He had a brawl in the tavern, all right, but it had nothing to do with Pavlena.
That's that, then. Best thing is to find Roman.
Where do you think Pavlena and Roman might be?
Not long ago, Roman was talking over a beer about how him and Pavlena wanted to leave and start a new life. Somewhere where no one knows her and her ma.
You think they'd really do it?
I took it all with a grain of salt, but after what he told me last time, anything is possible. For Christ's sake, he's got a whole house his pa left him. He wouldn't just leave it on account of her, would he?
Well, I don't think either that Pavlena would just run off and leave her mother alone.
You never know with women. What's more... No, I shouldn't say nothing about that. Best to go and look in Roman's house. He wouldn't just leave empty-handed, right?
Wait, though. What was it you were going to say about Pavlena? What did Roman tell you? Why would he want to move away with Pavlena now?
No, I shouldn't have said anything. I promised I wouldn't tell anyone.
Listen, I really need to know about it. It might be important. Something could have happened to Pavlena, and any little thing could be a clue.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. It ain't really a little thing. Well, it is, and it isn't. Pavlena is expecting a child. It's Roman's bastard.
Really? And who else knows about it?
Roman says he told only me. But who Pavlena might have told, I couldn't say. I don't reckon she's got many friends, though.
Now I see why they wanted to leave together.
Aye, that's just what I was thinking. We really should check out Roman's house. Then we'd know for sure.
All right. Let's go and take a look at Roman's.
Great. That is, you can go there.
Hang on, you said you two were friends. Why would I go there alone?
For one thing, I have to work. And besides, how would it look if anyone saw me breaking down his door? My reputation would be ruined. Whereas you, no offense, you're a stranger. You don't have to worry about your good name, do you? But me, I'd lose my livelihood.
Well, I can do it. But you ought to give me something. For insurance. I'm the one sticking my neck out here. Well, if I'm caught there, I'll need a few groschen to bribe the catchpoles. So I don't end up in the stocks.
True enough. Here you are. This ought to do it. After you search the place, come back and let me know what you found. I'll be around here somewhere.
好，我们去帮他去这个罗曼的房间里面调查一下啊。